Hey there, Thunder Buddies. Did you see the new TED series? It's wicked awesome, you guys. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to EGOTASTIC Fun Time TED Edition. Hope you guys got to see the new series by Seth MacFarlane on Peacock or whatever service it is on in your neck of the woods, your part of the world. Yes, you are still watching a demonetized YouTube channel right now, so you got to be careful. You never know what's going to happen on a demonetized YouTube channel, you guys. Just got a little over 2 weeks before I can reapply for monetization and get my life back. Get my life back so I don't have to be on the road 7 days a week to try to keep the lights on. If you want to help keep the lights on, you can tip me a beer up in the chat. What's going on, you guys? Sound check, 1 2 3. Sound check, can you hear me? Check sound. Hey, what's going on? Echo, there's an echo? There shouldn't be an echo. My bad, my end. It was on your end, Barry. Wait, hold on, you guys. Echo, be quiet. Can't say that word in this room, you guys. I got a robot lady who goes by that name, and she will respond if you say her name. What's going on, Samwise, Heavy Cap, Brian Dawkins, Curtis Tate, Archmage Frey. Did I already say Barry? If I didn't, hey Barry, what's going on? It's good. It's good to see you. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Andrew, what is going on? And all the rest of you that are filing in right now, Mr. Tommy Pickles says he's not going to be able to be here. So you're not here right now, Mr. Tommy Pickles, unless you are. If you are, let us know. Heavy Cap says, I watched 3 episodes of the new TED series so far. It is funny. Will there be spoilers here? Try not to be crazy with the spoilers, but you never know what's going to come up in the chat. And I am a content creator who abides by the chat. So if the chat has spoilers in it, there might be spoilers going on here. Did you guys, all of you see the show? I'm guessing not everybody saw the show, but most of you saw some of it. Curtis said he saw just the first episode so far. The first episode is the longest episode so far, 50-minute runtime. The rest of the episodes are about more what I thought they were going to be, about 35, 37 minutes or so. A lot of cameos from the Orville in this show, which I'm very happy to report. Very much works for me to have Orville, anything going on EGOTASTIC Fun Time. And the TED series has no shortage of Orville fun going on inside of it. Not obviously right off the bat, first episode. If you've seen the first episode, this is not a spoiler. Penny Johnson-Gerald, we already knew this anyway, but Penny Johnson-Gerald plays Ted's principal. It's so great to see Dr. Finn right there. Penny Johnson-Gerald always seems like Dr. Finn, no matter what she's playing. She's trying to deal with Ted. That's a lot of fun as well. Andrew says, I'm on episode 7. No spoilers for anybody. Episode 7, not a spoiler, but had a really great cameo that is not only an Orville cameo, but an awesome other franchise cameo. That's right, I was doing my Boston accent, Brian Dawkins. I saw you were doing your Boston accent when you started. Yeah, I basically got a little bit of TED going on in my brain. I always had. One great thing about the TED series, besides being created by the people we already love, Seth MacFarlane, you knocked it out of the park with this one. But one thing that really surprised me about the new series is my wife loved it. I'm watching it. She's watching it with me. She's laughing out loud. You know, I'm doing the chuckles here and there. Think it's hilarious, but she is laughing her ass off. So much to the point, we watched the whole thing together, all 7 episodes. Took 2 days. Don't got, a million hours of a day to just watch TV. Got to get out there and work. Got bills to pay, Jack. But she loved it so much, she's like, hey, let's watch the movie. So we watched the movie. She loved it. Of course, I loved it. I love both Ted movies. I haven't seen them in years. And then after we were done with the first movie, she says, okay, when we got time, we got to watch the second movie. And so we watched that this morning, actually. It was really cold outside. I couldn't get out and drive. I said, oh, I got 2 hours. We can watch this, and then I can go out and try to make some gas money and some money to keep the lights on here for 2.5 more weeks. She absolutely loved it. I did not expect that at all, you guys. How about you? Did any of your special loved ones also enjoy the series with you? If not, I guess I'm the lucky one. Let me scroll a little bit. Barry says none don't have Peacock. Well, if you're in the United States of A, Peacock is the only legitimate way to see the series that I know of so far. I haven't had time to really dig deep, see if it's available for purchase on Amazon or anything like that. But Peacock is a great service, and it's very inexpensive, just a couple bucks. You can watch the series for $5 a month. Just to get a free trial, bang out the whole thing while you have the free trial. It's only 7 episodes. A little over half an hour per episode, except for the first episode, which is 50 minutes. But hey, plenty of time to get the entire series watched and the movie. Peacock also has the first Ted film available. Ted 2 is available on HBO Max, or Max as they call it now. Don't know why they kept the Max but got rid of the HBO part. But hey, what you gonna do? That's like Frosted Flakes changing their name to Flakes. No, we want them flakes frosted. Frosted is the most important part of Frosted Flakes. Except for Tony the Tiger. Curtis Tate says, frankly, I'd rather have more Orville. Yes. I love the Ted series so damn much, and I'm having a great time watching it and exploring some of the behind the scenes and getting ready to, once this demonetization is done, start making some edited videos about the Ted series. But yes, I'd prefer a 4th season of the Orville any day of the week. Any day of the week, any month of the year, any year you can get it to us, Seth MacFarlane. I know it's going to be a little while, but you did say just last week that the Orville is not done. So we humbly await more seasons of the Orville. But hey, it's great to see so many Orville people in the Ted series. The teacher, Mr. George. I don't know if you'll recognize the name Mr. George as a character since the show is so new, but Mr. George maybe seems familiar to you. He played Johnny's doctor at the end of Ted 2, but in this one he plays Mr. George, played by Julius Sharp. If you don't know who Julius Sharp is, besides being one of the writers for the Ted series, he's also the alien from the Orville, episode 3, about a girl, the have a slimy day pillow alien that says some rude things to Bortus and Clyden. But of course, I think they said something rude first. But that's actually Julius Sharp, who plays Mr. George. He is in the Orville as an alien. There's also a couple other people I think might have played aliens. There's one teacher on the show. I don't remember the character's name. I think he might have played an alien on the Orville, but I got to go do some deep research. It's not a recognizable, with the alien makeup, not recognizable at all. But for some reason, I feel it's him, so I'm going to look into that. I'm going to find out. My very first hardcore video I'm going to do for the Ted series is all the crossover. It's the crossovers of all the actors that were on the Orville that are also in the Ted series. Not just the series, but the films as well, because there's a lot. When I was watching either part 1 or part 2, I think part 2, Ted 2, this morning, Jessica Zor was in it. She played a bartender. I was like, oh my God, there's Tala in Ted 2. I had no idea. I haven't seen Ted 2 since way before the Orville ever came out. It's been a long time. Yeah, episode 3 is crazy funny. I have to agree with you, Richards. All the episodes were pretty damn funny. And if you were a fan of Ted, the Ted films, there's no reason not to be a fan of the Ted series. It is the same thing. It's the same vibe, the same humor, the same raunchiness, but with some heart. And the Ted movies have heart too. But the series also has some great heart, this great family, just trying to figure out how to be a family, how to be alive in the 90s. I actually fell in love with the character of the mom, played by Alana Ubeck. Such a great character. For me, she's the MVP of the series. If they ever do a season 2, don't know if they will. Seth said it all depends on how the reception is for this first series. I would love more stories of the mother. I think she's absolutely hilarious. And of course, Scott Grimes as Maddie Bennett, the dad, absolutely hilarious. There were so many things Scott Grimes did in the series that I'm like, oh, that reminds me of when Gordon did this or that on the Orville. It was great. We miss the Orville. It's been a long time since we've had new episodes of the Orville, so watching the Ted series is kind of cathartic because we get to see so many of these characters that we love. The cousin was the voice of reason. Blair Bennett, played by Georgia Wiggum, who of course plays Lysella on the Orville, and how I think could have a decent role in season 4 of the Orville, because Lysella stayed on the ship in the Orville season 3 finale. Seems like maybe she's kind of the responsibility of the Orville, and I think that's the only place she really knows. So I'm thinking maybe Lysella will choose to stay on the Orville, I don't know, maybe she'll work at Muska's or something like that. But yeah, she's great in the Ted series. I was really surprised. I had no idea her character was going to be such a huge role. But yeah, she's great. She's the voice of reason, like you're saying. Anytime, something really socially inappropriate things are said on the show, she's there to say, hey, that ain't cool, which is kind of what you got to do in this day and age. But there's no shortage of inappropriate comments in the Ted series. Mr. Tommy Pickles just dropping in to say hi. How you doing, Tommy Pickles? Got to leave before I'm spoiled too much. Yeah, get out there, go right now and watch the Ted series on Peacock. Also, Peacock's really promoting the show. If you go on Peacock right now, plastered right on the front of the screen is the new Ted series, but also there's a Seth MacFarlane curated Ted playlist with all kinds of things that Seth MacFarlane thinks you should watch, like Alf and the Carol Burnett Show, and you click on that and all kinds of cool offerings from Seth MacFarlane is right there to watch. Booger414 says, I like Ted, the movie. The sequel is just so-so. I haven't watched the show yet. The Ted 2, when I first saw it years ago, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first film. Today, when I watched it, I enjoyed it very, very much. A lot funnier than I remember. I think I was in a mood when I watched it all those years ago. Hilarious. The Ted 2 film, Patrick Warburton and Michael Dorn in that movie are so freaking hilarious. Also, another thing I did to help bring awareness to the Ted series, I started TEDVILLE. I started another shorts channel. I have SHORTVILLE's, which is all Orville shorts. I now have TEDVILLE, which I just started day before yesterday. It's just going to be Ted series and film shorts. It's already live, already going. Link is in the description below, and people are starting to sign up, and getting a lot of views so far. La Brea is something I'm kind of interested in seeing, even though La Brea is basically like a dinosaur thing, which usually doesn't interest me that much, just because we've had a lot of Jurassic Park over the last couple decades. It used to interest me until there was a million Jurassic Park things going on. But La Brea, I have seen advertisements for that as well, and I want to check it out. It's not a franchise, a big, huge franchise like we've all been used to since the last 15 years or so. So I'm thinking of checking it out. And the reason I brought up the whole franchise thing is because I wanted to tell you guys, I've been thinking about this for a couple weeks now. I think, at least for, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe I'll do a video about it at the end of the year. I'm thinking of giving up all big franchises for 1 year and just watch regular movies, just regular, normal, new movies. Not the Star Wars, not the Marvels, not the Star Trek, none of these big ass franchises that have been around forever and ever and ever. I'm thinking of getting rid of them all for a year and just waiting a year and see if I can clear my mind of all these big ass franchises and just watch some regular movies. There's so many movies out there that nobody gets to see because they're being bombarded by these huge money grab franchises. So we'll have to see how that goes, you guys. It's just something I'm thinking about right now. Monarch Legacy of Monsters is much better, I think. People have been recommending that to me. I might check that out. Does that one have Kurt Russell in it? Booger says, IPs that transfer between movies and TV don't always work out that well. Yeah, so far I think the TED series works. I think it's been long enough since the films, and the TV series keeps the same heart, the same material as the films. So I think anyone that loves the TED films will love the TED series, and maybe even get a little bit more out of it. Yeah, Leonard Part 6. I remember that movie. That was a Bill Cosby movie. Bill Cosby, whatever happened to him? Booger says, I hope that this project does better, but not so well that it keeps us from getting Orville Season 4. Boom. Right there. I'm with you, buddy. I am with you. Jaloja Dawkin. How beeth you? As fancy people might say. They wouldn't, but hey. I got my own version of fancy. It's good says, before COVID, I had an unlimited card for my local cinema, and I watched pretty much every release. It was great. Have moved too far away now, though. Oh, you're far away from your movies? I used to do that with AMC. I had the AMC monthly subscription. You could see 3 movies a week. Any movies you want, anytime you want. You can watch them all back to back if you want. So great. It was a very, very good value. But then I became less and less interested with the movies that were coming out. And I was like, well, most of these movies, I could just watch them at home. Nowadays, they come out on your streaming services so damn quick. I'm like, I don't want to pay this every month anymore. But it was a good deal. AMC was the only one that had a great deal. All the other movie theaters that had their little subscription services wasn't feeling it, but AMC's was great. And you earn extra money every time you went to a movie, even though you didn't spend anything. And then you can use that money to buy popcorn or whatever. Reacher is awesome. I've seen a few scenes from that have been promoted, and it looks like a fun series. I like it. I like shows. Remember back in the day in the 80s, there was just a bunch of shows of bad guys getting their butts kicked by the hero team, like the A-Team, MacGyver, Knight Rider, all these shows. There's just a dude going out there and kicking booty when they comes across bad guys. And as humans, we love seeing bad guys, get their just desserts. And in this case, their just desserts is getting their booties kicked. I should review The Shift. The Shift. Is that a new one or an old one? Well, it must be a new one if you want me to review it. Brian says, we learn in the show that we learn Catholicism will find a way around any sin. Good old Blair Bennett. I'm so happy Blair turned out... Well, all the characters turned out to be great characters. But I think the star for me, the MVP is Susan Bennett, played by Alana Eubank. Very much an Edith Bunker type character. I don't think she based the character off Edith. I think she said that she based it off one of the nuns that taught at her school when she was young. But it's definitely got that kind of vibe. Jake Krause says Monarch is pretty good. Focuses more on the character. That's good. I prefer that. The Kaijus are affecting versus the monsters themselves. Ooh. Yeah, I'm all about the characters. Because a lot of these movies nowadays, well, for a while now, they just turn into how many effects can we put on the screen at once and numb your brains so you don't realize you don't like this movie. Archmage Frey, 3 of my main movie theaters closed permanently after a year after COVID. Wait, hold on. My mouse is covering something. That's something people seem to avoid when they talk about no one is going to the movies anymore. Yeah. My not going to the movies has nothing to do with COVID, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that had a problem with COVID being, contracting or whatever if they go out into a big public place where everyone is sitting around. Didn't bother me. What bothered me was I don't feel like going out to the movies. I don't feel like paying to go to the movies to see a movie I could technically just see in a week on streaming service. A lot of streaming services are getting the movies right away. Peacock has got a lot of damn movies. Oppenheimer is coming out on Peacock next month, I believe. They have an advertisement for it, so you can see Oppenheimer. Yay, Oppenheimer. Yay. I preferred the Barbie movie, but I'm sure Oppenheimer is very good. Very good drama. Yeah, Booger says the theater experience is still something that streaming will never capture. That's true. Nobody's watching, well, even with movies anymore, nobody's watching the same stuff. Everybody's watching different stuff. We got all these screens everywhere, all these streaming services. We have our phones. We got YouTube. We got TikTok. It used to be back in the day, things came on television and everybody watched the same thing at once, because if you didn't see it when it came on, you were not going to see it. And you didn't want to miss the show because you didn't want to be the one person at the office the next day that wasn't able to be part of the conversation. So you had to watch the show. A TV show would get 75 million viewers in one episode. Now they're lucky to get that across an entire season because everything is so split up. World, what happened? We can't watch stuff together anymore. But yes, the theater, I always agreed with that. I'm like, there's just something about going to the movie theater. They talk about having this group experience, watching a movie together. But now, the last few times I've been to the movie theater, there's always somebody ruining the movie for everybody. They're talking, they're on their phone rings, they got a little baby they brought. I mean, people talking has always been a problem, but it's become more of an issue the last few years. And I don't know if it's because people are just, because of our phones and all stuff, people are more insular. They're more like the rest of the world doesn't work. So they'll go to a place where the rest of the world is, in a movie theater, and they'll just talk and they'll use their phone because they're addicted to it, things like that. And they forget that there's other people around because they're living lives where there are no other people around. Everybody is inside their phone and not going to hear them talk. Robin Markowitz, hi, binged it all. I finally found out that Seth wore motion cap thingies, but no straps. I'm interested in the tech. Yeah, the tech for Ted is awesome. I remember seeing behind the scenes from the films, and he had mocap stuff on, so he can capture some of his movements, probably facial movements, stuff like that, because Ted is very animated. His face is very, very animated. Even if he's not talking, you can tell what's going on because his facial features are so detailed, even though they're not. But if you watch, you can see you can see him squinting. You can tell where he's coming from when he's talking because of his face, his facial features. It's quite a technical accomplishment that people don't see because it looks so real. You forget that Ted is a digital property, the measure of a bear, which is what the entire Ted 2 is about him becoming a person, gaining personhood under the eyes of the law, much like The Measure of a Man in season 2 of The Next Generation. One of the best episodes of any Star Trek ever made. Curtis Tate says temperature is dropping fast here, already down to 33. Right now, we are at, in my neck of the woods, 20 degrees. And when I went driving right before this show, it was cold. Beautiful looking day. Sunny, blue skies, the roads are perfect, but damn was it cold, 20 degrees. But tomorrow, it'll be 6 degrees. And we're supposed to get snow, so we'll see how that does for me keeping the lights on. It's probably going to hold me back a little bit. Hopefully I'll make it to January 29th, which is the day I can reapply for monetization to get this channel back. Of course, it'll take a month from that point if I get approved. No guarantees. YouTube is being YouTube. We'll see if I get approved. But if I do get approved, then it'll be a month before I get any of my wages back. Stupid YouTube. I was thinking of doing a live show called Stupid YouTube Live. We'll see if that happens. I have hardly any time to do any content. I have hardly any time to do live streams anymore. But hopefully that'll all change soon at the end of the month when I get to reapply. MP Bro says 49 degrees here in Georgia. Ooh, speaking of Georgia, I have my ticket booked. I have a plane ticket. I didn't pay for it myself. I couldn't. But I have a plane ticket. I'm being flown out to Georgia next month for a couple days to work on the last day of filming for the Axanar sequel. So I'll be working the last day of Axanar. I'm gonna be there shooting some behind the scenes. I'll be the one running interviews with the cast for the Blu-ray. And we're going to be having our first official production meeting while I'm there about something you guys are going to be very excited about. I can't talk about it right now, but I think you guys will very much be excited about the production meeting that I'm having next month. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to start to be able to talk to you guys about it, but it's not that time yet. So we'll just put a little pin in that for another day. But yeah, I'll be in Georgia, and I know it won't be as cold as it is where I'm at, and that's good. Not as cold. I'm about that. Archmage Frey, last movie I went to was Godzilla -1, and it was fantastic to see in the theater. People actually behaved. Well, they better behave, or Gojira is going to get them. Yeah, some movies you got to see in the theater. I saw Abadar, as Arnold Schwarzenegger calls it. Abadar, the first Abadar movie in the movie theater. What was that, 2009? You had to see it in the theater. I've had no interest in seeing that movie whatsoever outside of that first time I saw it in the movie theater. Didn't see Abadar 2. Absolutely not interested at all. Some people are. Some people love it, and that's fine. Like what you like. Don't let other people tell you not to like what you like. But that movie really had to be seen in the theater to get that full experience. That's when it had the new 3D technology, which was amazing. The movie is beautiful. You had to see it on that big screen. I think I might have saw it on IMAX. I don't remember. I saw the Orville Season 3 premiere at IMAX. That was amazing, let me tell you. That was a great day in the movie theater. Curtis Tate says, I'm excited for Axanar. Awesome. Well, if you end up getting the Blu-ray for Axanar, you might see me on it doing some interviews. Booger says, I've heard some scuttlebutt about that Alex has something big coming up. Talking about Alec Peters, I'm guessing. He's always got something big coming up, I guess. But he could be talking about Axanar, because they're almost done filming. They've been filming that for a while. They got thrown... when COVID hit, they had to stop production. Before COVID, I flew out there and helped for a weekend with I think it was the first day of filming for the new Axanar. They've had a few filmings since then after COVID. COVID, messed up their schedule for a year and a half. They couldn't film anything, and the actors that are involved are like, oh, we want to wait till after COVID. And so they've had a little bit of filming after COVID, and then they have the last day of filming coming up next month. I'm excited to see what they've come up with. I've seen a little bit of the trailers and stuff like that. Can't wait to see the actual product. There's some good people in it. People that you know. I'm not going to tell you who, but there's some good people in it. 57 degrees in Tampa Bay area and Florida. Lucky. Lucky Berry. Andrew, I am the same. Andrew says, I want to see the Iron Claw. I want to see that as well. All I've seen of it is the poster. And I'm like, oh, there's What's His Nuts, and then the other What's His Nuts from Shameless, and the bear, and then some other dude who I didn't recognize. I'm like, and it's wrestling. I love old school wrestling things. That was a fun time in my life way back in the day. So I was like, I want to check that out as well. So Iron Claw's on my list. Where is Iron Claw available to be seen? Is that a Netflix joint? Let me know, because I want to check that out. Maybe I'll check it out tonight. My wife loves the dude from Shameless that's in that movie, so she'll probably want to watch it with me as well. The Hish take on Avatar, or Abadar, as I like to call it, was one of their best. Oh, the channel. I'll have to check that out. I loved Red Letter Media's Mr. Plinkett's Avatar episode. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I remember the old FASA game supplement Prelude to Axanar. So I have been waiting to see what Alec makes since before Paramount shut down the fan films, right? He's still pretty bitter about that. He's still pretty bitter, and of course it makes sense that he would be. Paramount is not a supporter of fan films. They made a huge mistake with that. I know that the new Axanar 2 is going under the guidelines that Paramount set, because they have to follow those guidelines. But they're still making it. I think it's 2 episodes. Yeah, it's wild that a shoot would take that long. But of course, Axanar is all fan-made, completely fan-made. You have to get the people. Everyone has to get together when they can. Everyone's schedules are different. And, he's got to fly people out to be in it, certain people. Lots of people are local, but there's certain special people that had to be flown in to film their parts. 24 for 24. Love the likes. Now we're up to 25. 25 of 23. What? Oh, it's only showing at small cinemas? Are you talking about the Iron Claw? Is that... You got to go to the movies to see the Iron Claw? Is that what you're talking about? Man, I'm going to have to wait for it to come streaming then. It's too cold to go outside. Hishi, or Heish. Hishi is very funny. It ended the production on at least 3 other series. Andrew says, where I am, Chattanooga, Tennessee, the temperature is 43. Oh, I would love 43 degrees. I can work with 43 degrees. I can go outside with 43 degrees. And as long as I'm just going to my car, I don't even need a jacket. And I can totally be a person. I can be a human with 43 degrees. 20 degrees, it's a little bit tougher. Tomorrow when it's 6 degrees, it'll be impossible, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. I'm going to try to be human tomorrow. Archmage with the current rumors and discussions, Axonar might outlast Paramount as an independent entity. Man, if Paramount went out, would that get rid of the rules that Paramount placed on fan films? But I already know a great way to get rid of the rules that Paramount set out. Don't make a fan film for anything Paramount has made. Anything Paramount owns, just say no thanks. I'm going to pick something else. I'm gonna pick something from a company that supports fan films, because they know that it is a symbiotic relationship between the actual film, whatever it is, and the fan film. The fan film is there to support the main film and to bring more exposure to the main film. What's up, Thomas Landry? How you be? Irie says, cold doesn't start until 0. Well, tomorrow, when it's 6 degrees here, that's the high of the day. The low will be in the negative. It'll be negative degrees when I wake up tomorrow. But a few hours will go by. Maybe the sun will come out. I don't know if it will, but it'll come out and at least provide heat through the cloud cover, which will raise the temperature to 6 whole degrees. But I'm definitely going to go out in the morning tomorrow just to see what negative degrees feels like. Abadijah says, at this rate, Firefly will get a season 2 before we get more Orville. It could be. Orville's going to be a while. I don't know how long a while means. But I know there's some stuff that has to get done first. I know Seth it's already in production right now. They're doing a Naked Gun movie. Naked Gun. Isn't that, if anyone could do a real Naked Gun movie, Seth MacFarlane could do it. I don't know if he's starring in it or is in front of the camera at all. Maybe he's just directing it. Who knows? I haven't looked into it. I'm sure the information is out there. I just don't have time to look into much stuff lately. Hopefully by the end of the month I'll have more time to do that. But I'm excited for a Naked Gun movie. They came out with History of the World Part 2. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the humor as much as I did with the original History of the World movie. It didn't seem the same. I think Seth MacFarlane can probably do justice to Naked Gun, which is a similar type of humor to History of the World. Thomas says, I wish there was the Orville and the Owl House crossover. I'm not familiar with the Owl House, though I've heard of it. People have been talking about the Owl House. And what was it that one of you guys like a week ago were talking about? What was it? It's on Netflix. Delicious. Had the word delicious in the title. I think it's a animated film or series. I saw a thumbnail for that. I almost clicked on it. I just didn't have time. You'll have to remind me if you know what I'm talking about. Iowa is 4 degrees now, negative 15 by morning. Okay, that's cold. That's cold. You win. Irie wins. Iowa loses, but Irie wins. Abadijah says, I do wonder how the story will change with the delays. The actors have aged, especially the kids. I think whatever time delay there is between season 3 and season 4 will be incorporated into season 4. So if 2 years go by, I think it'll be 2 years later in the story of the Orville. They've had a lot of adventures over those 2 years, and we're catching up with them now. Marcus and Ty are older. Kelly may or may not even be alive anymore. We're still trying to get Anaya. We got to take down Talia because she is the leader of the bad guys, basically, and she is just a bad guy now. I think there's no redemption for her, and we'll have to see what happens. But I think whatever time happens between the 2 seasons is what will be reflected on the screen. Booger says, as good as Seth is, and he's good, I can't see Naked Gun without Zucker, Abrams, Zucker. Zucker, Abrams, Zucker. Max. All right, Max. All right. Airplane 737 Max Edition. Like the movie Airplane? A new Airplane movie would be good. Not Irie, I-R-R-I. Oh, just the letters. I-R-R-I. You got it, I-R-R-I. I just like to spell. I like to say words. I see letters put together, and I make a word out of them. You know how I be, you guys. All reading and stuff. I do keep forgetting. I'm sorry. Marcus will be the new Wesley Crusher. What if Ty is the new Wesley Crusher? But yeah, it could be Marcus. Like, will Marcus and Ty be pursuing careers in the Union? I think they probably will, but they don't have to. Maybe Ty wants to be an artist. You don't have to have a job. You can just do something. Do what you want to do and be the best at doing it. Maybe he becomes the best artist ever. Shut up, Wesley. Oh, one thing about the TED series. In the films, Patrick Stewart is the narrator of TED and TED 2. The TED series, the narrator is played by Ian McKellen, which is basically Patrick Stewart with hair. Isn't that crazy? He did mention himself being Ian McKellen at one point. I need to go back and see exactly what he said so I can see if he was making a Patrick Stewart joke. If Meg Griffin married Wesley Crusher, who would get told to shut up more? Oh, God. I think Wesley Crusher would be told to shut up more because Meg would also be telling Wesley to shut up. Where he'd probably never tell her to shut up, everyone would be telling him to shut up, including her. So Wesley would get the more shut-ups. Here we go. MP Bro says, what makes you think Talia is irredeemable? I disagree. I think she's irredeemable because of her actions in season 3. Becoming a crazy leader, killing the current administration, almost killing the president of the union, keeping Anaya locked up, and then using Anaya to try and sway Ed to let her go. She's trying to kill everybody. She tried to kill Kelly. She's trying to kill everybody, and she's doing it with she's taken over the entire Krill planet and made everybody a bunch of even further extremists. She's the extremist of the extremists, and there was going to be peace. She ruined it. So I think she's too far gone because of her actions. But hey, different people have different feelings. I see you have different feelings. Those are valid feelings. New South Park movie. I did just watch the last South Park offering that's on Paramount, and apparently Paramount is being sued by Max because Paramount is not supposed to have South Park. according to Max. Max had a deal with the South Park people, and then Paramount came and paid for some more South Park. Max is saying that's not right. That's illegal. We want our South Park back. New movie. Are you talking about the new Cred extra long episode? It seems like South Park just makes extra long episode specials now. But a whole South Park movie would be great. I know there's a new South Park video game coming out. That's a three-dimensional video game, as opposed to the 2D, which they did. So if you played the South Park games, Part 1 and Part 2, Stick of Destiny and The Fractured Butthole, great games. I usually don't like those types of games, but they made them fun and funny. Curtis Tate says, I love Talia. She has to be redeemable. I love her too. I just think she went way too far with her actions in season 3. She might not be redeemable. Like, she might never even try to be redeemable, is what I'm saying. She might just go down with the ship of crazy. Yeah, redemption, I agree, MP bro. Redemption in the Orville is a major theme on the show. Consider the Kalon. Not only the Kalon, Clyden. That was a huge thing. I'm not even for sure. I hope Clyden changed and is with us. But it's possible, and we might find out in season 4, that Clyden is just playing on the Mocklin side. Maybe the Mocklin sent him back to spy. Just say you're all cool with everything. Just spy. Act happy. Act lovingly and all stuff. But really, you're giving us information the whole time. And Clyden's like, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Because I'm with my people, the Mocklins. I hope that's not the case, but it could totally be true in season 4. So much of that just could just be the way of Avis. That silly old Avis. That dude right there. I know I got him on my wall, but I don't follow this guy. He's mean. Look what he's doing to these little fellas. That's mean. The new South Park movie on Paramount Plus is hilarious. Yes, I must have seen that. That must be the Cred episode. There's, I think, at least 2 new episodes. The Kathleen Kennedy episode was hilarious, and then the new one is Cred. If there's a newer one, I'd love it. But I just checked Paramount yesterday, and I don't remember seeing anything newer than the Cred episode, which is really damn new. She isn't crazy. She is Krillzy. The writers had to do something to make them bad guys again. And boy, are they bad guys. Not as scary as they used to be, because we have the Kalon. So the problem with the Mocklin Krill alliance isn't going to be a big like war type of thing. It's going to be more like with 9/11, where we have like terrorists causing more problems because they're sneaking in and causing trouble, which is a bigger problem to deal with than just a big old army of people on a field and you just aim and shoot at each other, this and that. But I can't wait to see what's going to happen in season 4 of the Orville. Maybe Ted will be on in season 4. Orville Nation, hey JP, how about those Orville Simulator episodes, aka Ted? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Ted is just a simulator episode from the Orville. Absolutely loving the Ted series. The cast, of course, Seth MacFarlane is Ted. I want to know who played the truck. No spoilers, but there's a truck. Who played the truck? Max Burkholder is John. Was great. You might know Max Burkholder played Tomlin in episode. Was that episode 4 of the Orville? If the Star Should Appear, the character Tomlin, the kid in the bio ship, that's the same kid. Max Burkholder, who plays John Bennett. Alana Ubach, favorite character on the show, but Scott Grimes, Maddie Bennett, of course, is Gordon Malloy. Georgia Wiggum, who plays Blair, of course, is Lysella on the Orville. Let me go through the cast here. Penny Johnson Gerald is the principal. Dr. Finn. Ian McKellen. Why don't we get Ian McKellen on season 4 of the Orville? He'd be great. Let's see who else stands out here in the cast. Julius Sharp, who plays Mr. George, also played the Pillow Alien on the Orville. And that's all that's listed here on IMDb, but there are so many more actors on the show. Did you guys, in episode 1, see Mike Henry, Lieutenant Dan? Lieutenant Dan had a huge little comedy bit in the very first episode. The very first episode is up for grabs. Spoilers galore. If you haven't seen the first episode, there's nothing I can do for you. Sorry. And then on IMDb, there's just advertisements for Ted 2, Echo, which I'm not going to watch because that's a big Marvel show. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, I'm thinking of boycotting all huge franchises. The only thing I won't boycott from Marvel is if they do season 2 of Peacemaker. I will watch it because Peacemaker was one of my favorite shows of whatever year it came out. What was that, a couple of years ago? I loved Peacemaker, so if they do season 2, I'll totally watch it. And yeah, there's a lot more actors on here, but they're just not showing them. But the show is so good. And yes, it is a simulation. Orville Nation. Orville Nation, were you excited that Seth said the Orville's not over yet? MP Bro says, it's crazy how serious moral head scratchers in every Orville episode after followed by fart jokes. We eat it up. Yeah, you got to add a fart joke. When you say something serious, this is something for life. This is a life tip. If you ever say something really, really serious, a fart. It'll lighten the mood. It'll take away some of that seriousness so then you can get back to being fun, happy people. Yeah, Archimedes says, good to see that Dan was still so awkward as a human in Ted. Wasn't it fun to see him without makeup? You actually get to see his face. I loved it. And his diapers. Echo was trash, says Abadija. I have no idea.
This might answer your question.
Hold on. Echo, stop. Got to be careful of that word. I have to come up with a new title for that show, but I'm not going to watch it, so I don't have any inside jokes to make about it. Yeah, Peacemaker is DC. Oh yeah, not Marvel. It's DC. I always get confused because Peacemaker had a lot of the comedy that the Marvel movies and TV shows have, but it all has to do with Gunn. And of course, Gunn has made both Marvel and DC stuff now. Now he's the head of DC. Peacemaker. I will totally watch Peacemaker, but I'm not going to watch any other DC stuff or Marvel stuff or Star Wars stuff. At least not for a while. Maybe I'll do a whole year. Let's see what happens to a person's life if they let go of all these huge franchises for a little bit and just watch some regular movies. Somebody put their heart into a script and they wanted to show a certain side of themselves and they made a movie about it. I'm going to go watch that. Booger says, I am cheating. I have just watched a couple of reviews and the episode breakdowns for Echo. Well, there you go. Thank you, Orville Nation. Orville Nation says, oh yeah, we are so getting more Orville. Hell yeah, we are. Just don't know when. Once Seth clears the board a little bit, gets some stuff done off of his to-do list, then he's back on the Orville train. Thomas Lander says, Seth MacFarlane is the voice of Tom Tucker, his son Jake, God, and Jasper, and Quagmire, and Brian, and Stewie, and Peter, and many, many, many more on Family Guy. And he's the voice of Ted. No. Well, yes, I did see it once. And was going to do I was going to go online because there's some... John says, you've seen the pic somebody did of Ted in Mercer's uniform? I have seen that. But I'm going to put a call out. I'm going to go on Twitter or something like that, or X, whatever Elon Musk thinks it's called now. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. I'll send you an X. No, I'll send you a tweet. Asking people to send me some of those Ted in an Orville uniforms, because I want to make some. I want to Photoshop some other pictures. I want to Photoshop Ted in an Orville uniform into the Orville cast. So I'm going to be putting out a call for that. There we go. That's it. Delicious in Dungeon. Brian Dawkins. I don't care for cartoons, but I like Delicious in Dungeon. I saw that. You mentioned it on a stream last week. I went on to Netflix and boom, there it was right on the screen. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I don't click on cartoons very often, but maybe I'll check it out at some point if I have time, if and when. Right now, if I ever have any time, I try to do some Orville Ted stuff with it or do a live stream. Otherwise, I'm out there on the road trying to pay these stupid light bills. Why do they charge for light? It comes from the sun. The sun gives away for free. But if you want to go inside, you got to pay the electric company. Messed up, this world that we have, you guys. Thomas Landry, who else but JP? You know, it's like who else but Quagmire, but egotastic fun time style. That's right. I also got to figure out exactly how to update egotastic fun time for the new monetization. Because some of the ways I used to do things, I can't do those anymore because I can't trust YouTube to be cool. There's other channels they can do things. My channel's on a list. I can't do the same thing other channels do. Don't do music. Don't use clips for too long. Oh my God, that clip was a second too long. 1 whole second too long. If it was 1 second less, it would have been fine, but it had that extra second. So you are demonetized, Egotastic Fun Time. You SOB. Why'd you call me SOB for, YouTube? That's rude. Ted looked good playing hockey. And they talked about a lot of the questions that people had while watching that scene in the scene. Yes, MP Bro says, on another note, music, the Orville Season 2/3 soundtracks are phenomenal. Been listening a lot. I believe all Orville soundtracks are available on Spotify. At least that used to be the case. Don't know if it's the case now. Also, Season 1 and Season 2 soundtracks you can get on physical media. You get them on CD. I don't know yet if Season 3 is available on actual physical copy of CD, but I know you can get it digitally. Just like you can't get a physical copy, you can't get a DVD or a Blu-ray of Season 3 of the Orville. Don't know if that's ever going to change. Maybe they're trying to do super digital. Maybe they're trying to make a point. Maybe Disney's trying to make a point by making everything digital with Season 3 of the Orville. I have no idea. Did you ever watch Urkel Saves Santa? Was that actually an episode of Family Matters? If it was, I'm sure I saw it, but I don't remember it at this point. Soon enough, you'll be able to do things and stuff. Yeah, right now, John, because I'm demonetized, when it comes to this demonetized channel, I don't have time, but I'm not spending any time editing videos for this channel until I get remonetized. But until then, I am making videos for the Shortsville channel that I run and the TEDVILLE channel that I run. Links to both those Shorts channels are in the description of this live video. I think X is pronounced Zen. or Z as Zed. Ted should put their soundtrack on cassette. Okay, one thing about the Ted soundtrack, I noticed it right off the bat. I'm sure you noticed it too. It's Family Guy. They set up the show like Family Guy. You got the establishing shots of the house. Same type of music as Family Guy. It feels like Family Guy. I absolutely love the fact that it feels like Family Guy, but it's still its own thing. The house, I just read on IMDb. Now, I don't know if this is true. You can't trust IMDb. I've seen so many lies and falsehoods on IMDb over the years. But under the trivia section for the TED series, it says, did you know the front of the house and the TED series is the same as Leave It to Beaver? So the Leave It to Beaver house is the exact house that they're using for the TED series. I think that's pretty awesome as well, if it's true. It could be true. Was Leave It to Beaver on NBC? If it is, I'm sure they still have the Leave It to Beaver house on their lot. It's probably one of their things that they say, hey, check this out. It's Leave It to Beaver house. They probably use it for all kinds of movies and stuff still. But apparently, according to IMDb, the house is the Leave It to Beaver house. So I'm going to have to do a video about that in 2.5 weeks when I'm allowed to make videos again. Hopefully, I can reapply for monetization in about 2.5 weeks. Doesn't mean they'll approve me. Though I think I got my channel, except for I still need to erase that Christmas song from about Charlie. I still haven't erased that yet. I need to erase that before I reapply. But I can't reapply right now anyway, so I just need to do it before 2.5 weeks, and I should be good. Sam Weiss says the Orville soundtracks are still on Spotify. John Smith says, I had a time trying to order a Blu-ray of The Marvels on Amazon. I never watched The Marvels. The Marvels. I haven't bought a Blu-ray since 2009, FYI. I bought like 2 Blu-rays when I first got a Blu-ray player, and I never bought another single, never anything, never a regular DVD, never a Blu-ray. I haven't bought a movie except for digitally. I've bought a handful of movies over the years, but I haven't bought a physical media of any films since 2009. Brian Dawkins says, it cost them $40 to bring me electric, and I get a bill $7 a month for its use. They charge you an extra $7 to use the $40 bill? Maria, how's it going? Maria with T and Telly, you guys. Say hello. Hey, I am loving Ted. 2 exclamation points. You guys. That means it's pretty good. They did such a great job with it. I think there's going to be a major following. I hope so. A lot of people don't realize the first 2 Ted movies, Ted and Ted 2, that's what they're called, are huge. They've made a lot of money worldwide since their release years ago at this point. I'm assuming that the new TED series will be the same. People are already raving about the new series. Definitely after you watch all 7 episodes, you're like, oh, I can watch more of these. I need more. I need the story to keep going. It's also a type of show where you can just keep having great stories told. Now, of course, the one problem with it is, I mean, TED is the type of show, content-wise, script-wise, where they can do 20 episodes in a season, but they can't because of Ted. Ted is not a guy with his hand up a puppet. He's a technological marvel or a technological DC. He's technological. It takes a lot of work to make Ted come to life. If it wasn't for that, they can make much bigger, longer seasons with Ted. But you got to have Ted in it if you're gonna do it. So if they ever got rid of Ted, just had the family, which are all just regular people, regular actors that show up and say their lines well, They can make bigger, longer seasons, but of course it takes a long time because, you know, Ted's amazing. Maybe if we get a little person to wear a teddy bear costume, maybe that would work. I don't know. It works sometimes for Alf. Sometimes Alf was a puppet. Sometimes there was a little dude running around in an Alf costume. I don't even know. I'm on a tangent and I don't even know why. Samwise says, I'm tempted to rip season 3 onto my computer because Mama wants to make GIFs. Yeah, I have every episode. I've ripped every episode of the Orville is on my computer because I go in there and I make shorts and I make GIFs or GIFs if you're the creator, but the creator got his own word wrong because the G in GIF is short for graphic, not giraffic. Jurassic Park. Yeah, I have every episode of the Orville on my computer because I use it for things. If you want to use it for things, I highly recommend you doing the same thing. Plus, I own all the Orville as well. You can buy the Orville. All 3 seasons are available on Amazon, so you can technically own the episodes as well. So that way you're giving them their digital credits by either watching them on whatever service they're on or purchasing them from Amazon. Well, you probably get them on iTunes and stuff like that too. Archmage Frey says Urkel Saves Santa was a new movie released this Christmas. Oh no, I know nothing about that. So no, I have not seen Urkel Saves Santa. And I'm not going to watch it because Christmas is over, but I will watch it next Christmas. Just like Violent Night. I didn't watch Violent Night last year when it came out. But this year I watched it. I watched it twice because I loved it so much. Jessica loved it. I loved it. We had such a great time watching it. We made our son watch it as well. We were like, you're going to love this movie. And he did because it's a great movie. I highly recommend Violent Night if you haven't seen it. Great Christmas movie. It's what what people always wanted Die Hard to be. A Christmas movie. Samwise says, I wish streaming will allow GIFs of their videos to be made. That's free advertising for their content right there. Oh, I do it anyway. I don't care what they say. That's a GIF. No one's going to do anything to you. Just make it. Not all rules have to be followed. Not if they're stupid. Orville Nation says, Maria! I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. Even though it's Stella. Stella! Maria! The name of the porn John and Ted rented had the same name as a porn Chris was caught watching in a Family Guy episode. Oh, that's a good piece of little tidbit of trivia right there, John. Thank you so much. Also, a lot of the jokes from the Ted series, you will find those jokes started, different punchlines in the Ted series, but they started in the films. They kept coming up with different names of marijuana strains in the Ted series. If you watch the films, that's a joke they use in the films as well. They have all kinds of different funny names for strains of marijuana, as Susan Bennett would say. Orville Nation says, man, I hope you get straightened out soon. Me too. All I got to do is wait till the 29th, make sure everything's cleaned up on my channel, which it is, except for one video I got to take down. And they should reinstate me, but it's YouTube. It's their game. It's their rules. So who knows? Who knows? But I'm thinking of doing, well, I've already done it. I got the TEDVILLE Shorts channel and the SHORTVILLE Shorts channel. I'm going to do those types of videos on those channels. No shorts on this channel unless it's me saying a joke or something like that. Or I said something amazing in a live show, which every word out of my mouth has been amazing during this live show. So it's just nothing but shorts nonstop. But I'm also going to do long form videos here. So even though I have a TEDVILLE channel, long form TED videos will be right here on EGOTASTIC FUNTIME. Live shows right here on EGOTASTIC FUNTIME. Orville videos right here on EGOTASTIC FUNTIME. And whatever other types of longer videos I do will be right here on EGOTASTIC FUNTIME. But all the short stuff, separate that onto their own shorts channels. Don't put shorts. A lot of YouTube channels are saying, oh no, put shorts, it's great for your channel. Don't do it. I tell you right now, because if you're making shorts, that's a whole different type of audience, and you don't want to mix your short form audience with your long form audience, because your long formers don't really care much about the shorts, but your short audience they don't watch longer videos. They watch short videos. So unless you only want to make short videos, don't not mix your audiences. I don't care what people say on YouTube. I've lived it. I know the difference. I know what happens. I'm not going to make a video about it because I'm not that type of YouTube channel. But hey, I'm telling you during the live show, don't mix your audiences. Keep them where they like to be and give them things they like to watch on those platforms, on those URLs, on those channels. You are welcome. Man, I fixed it all. I fixed it for you guys. Booger says there was a video not too long ago that showed one of the studio lots tearing down a bunch of the classic houses. Oh no! I would watch that. If it's not too long of a video, 10 minutes or less, I would totally watch that. There's so many classic houses. Obviously, they didn't tear down the Leave It to Beaver house because it's in the TED series. What other houses are there? 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the Munsters. I hope they didn't tear that down. That's an amazing house. I guess they can tear down all the Wisteria Lane stuff, even though Universal Studios uses that neighborhood a lot for a lot of different TV shows and movies. You can get rid of the Wisteria Lane stuff. They serve their purpose. Coming soon, the Dennis Dump Truck Show and His Adventures in Providence spinoff. I kept expecting to see that truck get run over. Never happened. Or did it? Spoilers or not. I want to know who did the voice of Dennis. Because there was some words that were said. I'm like, oh, that sounds like Seth MacFarlane. And then there's other words that are said. I'm like, that sounds nothing like Seth MacFarlane. But I bet you it was Seth MacFarlane. I want to look that up. Arkmash Frey, last Blu-ray I bought was the new Babylon 5 movie, just to support the project. The animated one, is that what you're talking about? I saw the trailer for that, if that's what you're talking about. It looks really good. If you're a fan of Babylon 5, I'm sure you would extra enjoy it. The Marvels isn't as reliant on knowledge of Miss Marvel and WandaVision as critics say. It catches you up on the important bits. Oh, okay. That's one of my problems with, especially Marvel. Marvel, it's too expanded. It's too much. Too much. I complain about it probably at least one time every live stream when it comes up. You have to know 50 different movies and everything that's happened in those movies to understand what's happening in the current movie that you're watching. So I'm glad that they're not relying on that, because that's become one of my pet peeves with Marvel. I'm like, I don't understand this little joke because I didn't see the 15th movie you made years ago. I miss it when the star of the movie was whoever's name is on the title. Oh, it's Spider-Man. Let's watch Spider-Man. Oh, there's Spider-Man's got all kinds of friends and they got inside jokes. Damn it. Though I love Spider-Man. I loved all the Spider-Man movies. So that was a bad example. Oh, let me scroll down. Oh, there's a lot to scroll. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Yeah. It's not meant to be a Christmas movie, but yeah, I can see that as being a Christmas movie because Christmas is happening all around that movie while it's happening. But an actual hardcore Christmas movie, that's also like Die Hard, but super extra Christmassy because John McClane is played by Santa freaking Claus. Violent Night. Highly recommended it. I highly recommend it, and then you can watch Die Hard right after because they kind of go together. Mark Lawrence, thank you so much. Mark Lawrence says, JP just shot you over a PayPal. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Helping to keep the lights on here. Thank you so much. You are now my favorite person on the stream right now. Well, maybe life. Mark Lawrence is a really good dude, you guys. Not only is he a huge supporter of the show, he's a supporter of people who like things. And I like people who like things, even if they like things that I don't like. I like that they like things. Well, if you like things, Mark Lawrence supports you liking that thing. Well, maybe not all things. Depends on what you like. You'll have to talk to Mark, give him a list of things you like, and see what he approves of. But thank you so much, Mark. You are a pal, an egotastic companion, egopanion. Archmage Frey, there are a couple jokes in TED that are straight from Family Guy. For instance, when the father says Hebrews and Shebrews. Oh, okay. That's a good one, too. That'll be a great clip to clip in if I ever do a video about that scene. Andrew says, they'll reinstate you. JP, don't you worry. You're going to get reinstated. I would love to be reinstated. It'll help it where I can make a little bit of extra income to supplement the 7 damn days a week on the road. I actually like being a driver, right? I ain't gonna lie, I've been having some great conversations with people. Had a great conversation with an old lady the other day for like 30 minutes. And she, even as she got out, says, I really enjoyed talking to you. I have some great I meet some interesting people. But damn, 7 damn days a week on the road, and on the road is dangerous. I've already been rear-ended twice. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't want her to know. But I've already been rear-ended twice in my new car. Driving around. Shh. Can't say it out loud. I have to cut it out of this live stream. I have to edit. Because it's dangerous out there. People are nuts. You can be the safest driver on the road, but you're not, because there's other drivers on the road and they're not safe. I was rear-ended both times just sitting at a red light. What the hell? They tell you in driving school to stop at red lights. They don't tell you that if you stop at a red light and sit at the red light for 20, 30 seconds, someone is still gonna run into you. Driving too much. But Andrew says they'll reinstate me, and that'd be nice. And then maybe I can drive, 4 or 5 days a week. That'd be awesome. Because I do enjoy getting out of the house. I do have to say. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it so much, but I do. Because I've spent a lot of time the last few years inside, 4 walls, dark, in front of a computer, screens in front of my eyes, typing stuff, filming stuff, editing stuff, uploading stuff, and I love that. But man, you go outside and you're like, oh, this is great, freedom. It's like Braveheart. I'm living Braveheart. I go outside and I'm Braveheart. God, it's great. But I still want to be reinstated. Rob Zombie had to rebuild the Munsters house at his lot in Romania. Oh my God. You know what? I wanted to see that new Munster movie from him. I didn't have it available at the time. I think it's available now. But at the time that I wanted to watch it when it first came out, it was available on a streaming service I didn't have. Romania. Yes, we need to support Matty Bennett as he was a vet. Yes, he was. Take a good long look. This is life. Yeah, and what's great about InfoWarrior, what's great about the TED series is if you haven't seen the TED movies, it's okay. You can start with the TED series because it's a prequel. It takes place in 1993. The first Ted movie takes place like in 2012, 2013, and part 2 takes place in 2016. So 1993, start with that, you're all good. But it is fun to know the world and then go back and see what they did with it in 1993 with the series. But it works either way. Actually, I'm very interested to see. I bet you a lot of people are going to be introduced to the Ted universe with the series first, and then they're going to go into and watch the films afterwards. I'm interested to see what that's going to be like, because a lot of the situations from the films, some of them happen in the series as well, differently. So a lot of jokes will carry over from one to the other in whatever direction you, and if you watch the series first or the films first. Very interesting. So you go ahead and you watch the series first. It's fine. But just so you know, on Peacock, the first Ted movie is also available. If you want to watch Ted 2, that's on HBO Max. And this is all in the United States. I don't know where everybody is. Everybody's all over the world. Seth should do another Western movie, a sequel to A Million Ways to Die in the West. 1 billion ways. 1 billion ways to die in the West. I actually want 1 Million Ways to Die in the West TV series. I think that would do very well as a series. Andrew says, I wish Peacock would make updates to the Sliders series. Yeah, it's been a long time since there's been any new Sliders. Well, I guess what a lot of media has done now, instead of having like a Slider series, they just have series that take place in alternate universes, like The Americans. Doesn't that take place in an alternate reality where Hitler won World War II or something like that, and now they're dealing with the aftermath? I don't remember. Orville Nation, talking to Andrew, our friend Tracy Torm, showrunner, just died this week. Unfortunately, he was trying to bring it back. Talking about Sliders, maybe. Oh, that's too bad. It's sad when any creative... Well, it's sad when anybody dies, but it's extra sad to me when a creative dies. We need creators. We need people that help make things. Oh, that's a good quote, MP Bro. MP Bro says the number one rule of driving: green means legal, not safe. True. Jessica sent me a TikTok yesterday because, you know, there's weather about. I guess there was like a huge car pileup on a snowy road the other day, and you could just see the cars keep slamming into each other one after another, because they can't stop because the roads are icy. Don't know why they're going so fast in the first place. And they just keep one after another. Every couple seconds, another car runs into the pile. Another car runs into the pile. It's pretty scary. If the roads are icy tomorrow, and they might be, because we're supposed to get snow tomorrow as well, but snow is supposed to be later in the day. But if it's icy, I thought it might be icy today because we had a huge storm, but there was no ice. Couldn't believe it. But if there's ice, I'm not driving. That's too dangerous. Archmage Frey says, I got rear-ended at a red light once, and the woman tried to blame me. Well, I had one in April, sitting at a red light, was there for a while, boom, ran. This is back to the old Egomobile. Totaled the car. That was in the spring. Got the car totaled, so then I got this new-ish car, 2019. It's not 2023, but it's new to me because my other car was a 2009. So in this car, at a red light in front of the hospital, crackhead hit me. Total crackhead. I mean, legit crackhead, like on crack while I was, you know, trying to say, hey, you okay? This, and that. Crackhead. I never seen a crackhead. Talked to a crackhead before. Not that I knew, but I knew this was a crackhead. And then another one, a couple weeks later, a work truck I was sitting at a red light. It went red as I was coming up, so I stopped. There was a car in front of me as well, so we're both stopped. The entire cycle, the light cycle, went through. Then it turned green, and then as soon as it turned green, boom, I get hit right in the back. I was just sitting there for the entire light cycle, hit by a work truck. Horrible. Luckily, no real damage. But I made the guy give me money. Give me money, stay quiet, buddy. I need to go get this fixed. There's a dent. But yeah, I like that MP, bro. Archmage Frey, I got rear-ended at a red light once, and the woman tried to blame me. Yeah, I said that one, didn't I? And you were just sitting at a red light. The work van that hit me said, "Were you going?" I'm like, "No, it just turned green, and there's a car in front of me, and we both let off the brake because it just turned green. And as soon as I let off the brake, boom, bam, right in the back." The Monsters is a Peacock movie. Okay, I can probably see that. I can see that now then. Jessica wanted to see it too, so I guess we can see that movie. And it's not a huge franchise. Even though the Monsters have been around for a while, I wouldn't call it a huge franchise movie. So it makes it into the view group. Oh, Brian Dawkins says, hard to believe I watched Police Squad first run 41 years ago. It has been a while since Police Squad. I saw all the Naked Gun movies in the theaters when they first came out. Police Squad, I did watch a few episodes, reruns, way back in the day, way back in the 80s. That was a whole different type of comedy. Leslie Nielsen, that comedy was different. It was like so ironic, so sarcastic without trying to be sarcastic, but it's so ironic. All the comedy was super ironic. Naked Gun, Airplane movies, which also had Leslie Nielsen. I Am and Don't Call Me Shirley. And what else movies have that super, Princess Bride, kind of. Men in Tights, kind of, but it's not really the same. Naked Gun. It was a whole different thing. We don't get a lot of that. I don't think it works for enough audience members because it was like it's such dumb humor that it's smart. And that's all I got to say about that. Man in the High Castle is that alternate reality one. Yes, The Americans I've never watched. I did watch one episode back when it was new of Man in the High Castle. That's right. And both shows just became the same thing to me in my head, even though I've never seen The Americans. Hulu just picked up the series Prison Break. No new episodes, right? Just the previous seasons. That's awesome. That was a huge show. I never got into that show, but man, I remember it being a huge, huge show. People are into that show. Yeah, A Million Ways was fun. I tried to... A Million Ways to Die in the West was available on one of the streaming services just a week or two ago. I was like, oh, A Million Ways to Die in the West. I don't have time to watch it. But hey, I'll keep that in mind so that I can go and watch it later on. I went today just to see where it was at because there's so many streaming services and so many shows. I can't keep straight what shows are on what streaming service. And a lot of streaming services have the same shows as each other. Really weird. Star Trek talking to you. You can find a lot of Star Trek elsewhere besides Paramount Plus, you guys. But anyway, A Million Ways to Die in the West is no longer available on the streaming services. I don't know what happened. It wasn't there. I know that because I watched it like a year or two ago. And I actually had to rent it or something like that. And then I saw that it was available. Yay, finally. And now it's not available anymore. I'm getting tired of these streaming services, you guys. We need to figure it out. We just need one or two streaming services. There's too many. And they're all starting to become a conglomerate They're all starting to fuse together. Like I just saw on Amazon. No, on Hulu. I saw that you can get a Hulu Showtime Paramount bundle. So you can get Paramount, Showtime, and Hulu. Hey, Brian Dawkins sent you some PayPal. Thank you so much, Brian. Let's see what the phone says. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Thank you guys for helping me keep the lights on. I just have 2.5 more weeks. This has been horrible. YouTube is almost completely ruined me. I almost gave up this YouTube stuff with this last demonetization because it's been hurting. This one hurt. This one hurt really bad. I've been doing my best with the whole 7 days a week working, try to keep the lights on. With the slight hope in the back of my head that, hey, it's not going to be forever. YouTube will bring you back. They'll let you back in and you can figure it out from there. And then maybe you can just work 5 days a week as opposed to 7 days a week, all daylight hours. So thank you guys for helping to keep the lights on here because, man, I had to go work an hour of my work I just had to use to pay for gas today. Booger says, I have the Police Squad DVD, but also watched its first run. Now, of course, Police Squad became Naked Gun. Wouldn't it be interesting if they actually made a Police Squad movie? That would be cool. I'd go check that out. Yeah, I'd go into a movie theater if they had a Police Squad movie. But if they did a Police Squad movie, I bet you it would just be for a streaming service. It wouldn't be available in a theater. That's just how things are nowadays. What's up, Scouse? Andy71. Hi, JP from the UK. How's it going in the UK? Actually, Andy, I would like to know what the temperature is. Now, oh, you have to do math, though. It goes. We're Fahrenheit over here. We understand Fahrenheit. We don't understand Celsius. At least I don't. So if you can tell me the Celsius of what it is, and then one of you other wonderful people can figure out the Fahrenheit for me, and we'll all figure out what weather you're dealing with over there, Andy. Andrew says, what's that movie with Andy Samberg? He was a stunt bike rider. Oh, that's a funny movie. Wasn't that slapstick comedy? Not Naked Gun style slapstick. More just the regular, what's his name? He directed 40-Year-Old Virgin and a bunch of other great movies. It's a little bit, there's a couple jokes that are kind of slapsticky. But mostly it's just regular goofy humor. But yeah, what is that movie? That was a good movie. I really liked that movie. I've seen it a few times. It's been a long time though. Oh, nice. Brian says they own the Million Ways Director's Cut Blu-ray. Booger says they will end up bundling. They already are. Bundling streaming services much like the premium channels did in the early days of cable TV. Yeah, right now is the bundle stage of the streaming wars. Totally agree. I totally see it all the time, even more so now than even a couple months ago. It started a little while ago, just a little bit here and there. Oh, get you your Hulu, but you can get the Stars channel. You can get you some ESPN for a little extra, this, and that. Get you Disney Plus. Now they're really starting to come in. I've been seeing advertisements for all kinds of bundling going on. Oh, thanks, Brian. Brian says, I will miss you very much if you go away. I'm going to try to never go away. I don't know if it's always going to be YouTube because, we can't guess what the future is going to be. But I'm going to try to never go away. I'm going to always be somewhere. Right now it's YouTube because that's the thing. There's nothing else besides YouTube. People say, "Oh, try this service or that service." They're not YouTube. It's not going to work. But one day somebody might get it. So they might figure out the right platform, the right website that people actually go to. Scout says, good, 1 second. All right. Hot Rod, that's it. Archmage says it's Hot Rod. That's the name of that Andy Samberg movie. And it's a great film. You know, Andy Samberg came out with a really great movie a couple years ago, Palm Springs, which is a time travel movie. It's really good. It doesn't look like it's a time travel movie, but it is a time travel movie. I highly recommend checking it out. And it's not a big franchise, so it's a regular movie. I'm really getting into these non-big franchise movies. I watched Jules a week or two ago, which is a great sci-fi, a personal, small sci-fi movie. Really good. Ben Kingsley, Jane Curtin, other people. I highly recommend it. Nice little sci-fi E.T. type movie. With real folksy comedy. Yes, I did see that, Andrew. Andrew says later this summer, Netflix is getting Beverly Hills Cop 4. Beverly Hills Cop, I probably will check out. It's just a regular movie. I grew up with Beverly Hills Cop movies. I went to the theaters with my dad to see the Beverly Hills Cops movies. And really enjoyed it. Even though it's a big name that we've all heard of, I don't consider it a huge franchise, so I will be checking that out. I have been glad to see Eddie Murphy doing real comedy again. He's come out with a few movies where he's back. I even like the Christmas movie he came out with this year, Candy Cane Lane. Totally enjoyed it. But what was that movie he did? The first movie he did a couple years ago, I think it was on Netflix, where he was back with adult comedy again. What was that? He was playing the guy who made some blaxploitation movies back in the day. It was really good. Really good movie. I can't remember. I'm sure one of you guys remember the name of it. I'm glad that Eddie Murphy's back. I think a lot of us missed him. Okay, Andy says 40 degrees Fahrenheit at 23:38. That's what, like 10:30 at night here in the UK, or is that 11:30 at night? Might be 11:30 at night. Yeah, because then it goes to 24 at midnight. Well, technically it goes back to zero, doesn't it? 40 degrees. Oh man, I could totally deal with 40 degrees. It's not going to be 40 degrees here again until like Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, but tomorrow it's going to be 6. That's the high. The low will be in the negatives. Today the high is like 20 or so. It's getting cold out there. We got to keep each other warm, you guys. What should we throw onto the fire? Paramount Plus? Okay, let's throw Paramount Plus on the fire. Oh wait, Paramount Plus has Ghosts. I love the Ghosts series. So I will be watching Ghosts when they come out. Not a big franchise. Love Ghosts. The UK Ghosts and the USA Ghosts, both great series. Highly recommend them. Me, no other. We might get 3 main streaming services: NBC, ABC, CBS. Okay, CBS of course is Paramount Plus. NBC is Peacock. ABC, I guess, is Disney. Yeah, ABC is Disney. So that's Peacock, Disney, and Paramount. And don't forget Netflix. I always forget to add Netflix. Netflix is like the main one. I don't watch much Netflix, but this is a GD Netflix house, so we kind of have to have Netflix because other people here like to watch Netflix. I can do without it, but I do watch some things on Netflix. Right now, I'm actually in the middle. I'm in season 3 of watching Loudermilk on Netflix. I've been seeing clips of Loudermilk online all the time. Been hearing about Loudermilk all the time. I finally started watching it. I think it is a great freaking series. I absolutely love it. If you haven't seen Loudermilk, check out Netflix. See if it's in the Netflix in your area. Let's see if you can check it out. It's 3 seasons so far. I haven't looked into any of it to see if there's more coming out. But I hope so, because I'm really enjoying it. And you got Will Sasso is in the series. And Will Sasso plays Muska on the Orville. Isn't that fun? Booger says, I have been seeing some fandom-related stuff over at Rumble, but they are not drawing much attention. Yeah, that's the problem. I've looked into Rumble. I remember the first time I got demonetized, everyone's like, Rumble this, Rumble that. I looked into it. Rumble is nothing. Rumble is nothing. Everything is nothing except for YouTube. YouTube is the only game because they're owned by Google. Google makes sure that no one else is getting the traction. It's all about the YouTubes. But also, even if I did Rumble, I'd still have to do YouTube just to get people to go over to Rumble. I'm like, oh my God, how many websites do I have to partake in? I've already gotten rid of most of the social media. I have Facebook, but I don't use it except for in very rare occasions, just to let my mom know that I'm alive and other family members know that I'm alive, or to say yes or no to a party invite. I don't use Instagram. I mean, I've used all the sites, but I got rid of Instagram. I don't use TikTok. I just use Twitter, or X, but it's Twitter. I use Twitter often, quite a bit. And then, of course, your actual YouTube channel is social media as well. You have a community page. I highly recommend, if you're trying to do YouTube, if you have a channel, you got that community page, use it. Get in contact. Let people know what's going on. Post funny things. Post, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's a good way to stay connected to your audience. It's actually better than any of the other social media sites, because all social media sites, all of them now, didn't used to be this way, but every one of them now, you have to pay them if you want people to see your posts. So like if I make a video, there's almost no point in sharing that video on social media unless you pay them. If you just have something to say, people might see why you have to say, hey, I like cheese sticks. But people will be like, yeah, I like cheese sticks too. They'll let people see your cheese sticks post. But if you're like, oh, here's why I like cheese sticks, and you made a video about it and you share the video, they'll let hardly anybody see that you posted that because you want that money. And that's all the social media sites. What a world we live in. Pay to play. That's Earth. Earth is pay to play. Me no other. The next streaming service will be AI generated content with no writers or actors or channel owners. It'll probably just be the channel will make the website will make its own content, and nobody will get nothing. No creators allowed. Yeah. People could input what the next episode of the Orville will be, and AI will make it. Totally. That's already something that can be done, especially with scripts and stuff like that. AI can totally write you a script right now. Just go to an AI site and say, write the next episode of the Orville. It'll write you something. I don't know if it's any good, but it'll write you something. I like, with AI, I like photo apps, like my phone. You take a photo, AI will make the photo look better. Whatever you just took, it'll make it look a little bit better. It'll add better lighting, automatically better lighting, clearer images. It'll fill in where something is not that clear. It'll fill it in to make it look clear. I think that's a great use for AI. Photoshop, which I use Photoshop to make thumbnails and whatever fun things I make for content creation, now has AI option. You can make a little box wherever you want and just type in what you want, and it'll AI it up right there. You have a house in the picture, and you're like, oh, I want a better house. I want a mansion. You just put a box over the house that's already there, and you just write mansion. It'll change it into a mansion. I think that's a good use for AI, because you still have to do things to it to make it an original piece of artwork. But yeah, I have no interest in watching an AI movie or an AI video. There are some AI videos you can watch now where they made like a pizza commercial or something like that. A funny pizza commercial with Joe Biden. That stuff's kind of fun, but a whole movie, I don't think I'm interested. And I think a lot of people will figure out they're not interested. I'm not afraid of AI, really. I think everything just ends up being used for apps, for photo apps or porno apps or things like that. AI porno, people will be watching. People will be making better pictures with their AI photo editor. That stuff I'm not worried about. I think that's what it'll mostly be. After we get through all of the, hey, what can we do with AI? And people say, oh, we can do all these things with AI. Oh, no one's interested. Okay. Then we'll just do normal stuff with it. Yes, Disney owns Hulu. That is true. Disney owns Hulu. They own the Orville. I don't know if they own the future of the Orville, but they own the present of the Orville. They own season 3. Season 3 is a Disney original / Hulu original, same thing. But I don't know if Disney or Hulu will have season 4 of the Orville. I don't know if they said, yes, we want it, because why wouldn't we? We want to have all this. We want to take over sci-fi, and the best new sci-fi that everyone loves is the Orville, and it's not like a big, huge franchise that's been around for a million years. We could make new adventures with it. And set our own path with it, and people will love it. But will Disney have season 4, or are they saying, hey, we want it, but let us save up money for it because it's very expensive, and because of the Hollywood strikes, we don't want to spend any money on anything because we basically crapped our pants when we weren't able to make anything, or we're afraid of losing money right now. But once we're able to stand on our own 2 feet, which of course we will because we're a big established business for 100 years, we will pay for another season of the Orville, but we just need some time. Seth's like, oh, no problem. I need time before I'm able to make any more Orville because I got some other commitments I got to come through with or get sued for a ton of money. Will it be? I hope it goes to Peacock, but because I love Peacock so much, it's the one streaming service where I enjoy a lot of different content. But we'll have to see. I think Disney will be the best platform to get more eyeballs on season 4 of the Orville. But we don't know those answers. We don't know the answers to those questions yet. Paramount owns Pluto TV. Pluto TV is a great thing. If you don't mind not watching the latest and greatest whatever and just want a ton of great things to watch from back in the day, Pluto's got it for free. Go to pluto.whatever and you can watch Legacy Star Trek right now. You can watch The Next Generation. You can watch Voyager, Deep Space Nine. They got all that stuff on there. They got I Love Lucy. They got Knight Rider. They got so many things. And not everybody cares about watching the latest thing. Some people just want great content to watch, and they don't mind watching stuff from a few years ago. Pluto TV. Orville Nation, you ever going to talk UFOs and disclosure, JP? UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Those exist. There are objects flying about that our governments do not know what they are. They are unidentified. Are they aliens? Don't know. Are they some techie nerds from a college trying out a new technology they've been working on that they're trying to patent? Maybe. We don't know. Is there little gray guys? Don't know. But we do know we don't know what those things are that are flying around. Hey, thanks, Brian Dawkins. Brian found my new TEDVILLE Shorts channel for the whole TED universe. Just getting started with that because it's hard to find time to find the clips that I want to share and then re-edit them so that they become a whole new thing. Because, you know, a lot of people will make a short and they'll just find a funny clip and they'll just put that up. No, don't do that. You could get in trouble for that. I re-edit so that you can get to the joke, you can get to it faster, and maybe sometimes the punchline is different than the original, depending on how I edit it. But thank you for becoming a subscriber. I got, I don't know, 10 or 15 videos on there, but more are coming soon. A lot more. Hopefully a couple hundred more. The Americans is a spy series. That's right. That sounded familiar. Andy is watching Americans on Disney. Spies series. Andrew says, Rumble needs a morning show like Good Mythical Morning, and I'll be happy. Oh, man, back in the day, years ago, I used to watch a lot of Good Mythical Morning. Loved Rhett and Link. I have actually Rhett and Link action figures somewhere in this house, in a box somewhere. It's Rhett and Link. I forgot I had that. I got that years and years and years ago. I haven't watched them in years and years and years, but I'm sure they're still doing some great, fun videos. Booger says, I don't think you can get a whole movie script out of AI without a fair amount of plagiarism. Yeah, what you'd want to do is have AI do part of the work, and then you go in and do the rest of the work. Because also AI is going to write just some stuff that doesn't make sense at all. So you got to go in, you got to fluff up that script a little bit. I have an old script that I wrote that I want to redo because I wrote it forever ago. And I'm like, you know what? I'm older and wiser now. I can make a better story. I can do a better story. But I already have another script that I'm going to be writing. Can't talk about it right now, but we'll talk about it when I'm allowed to talk about it. Me no other. There are better AI YouTube channels. Some people do reimagined Star Wars directed by Wes Anderson. I think I've seen that. I've seen that stream of videos. He's done a bunch of different franchises directed by Wes Anderson. Basically making trailers. I mean, they're not making full movies. They're making trailers, but they're fun. Like, what if Star Wars was an Italian movie or something like that? It's pretty cool. Yeah, Booger says, I've seen a couple of channels that have done Wes Anderson type trailers. You know what? I used to really like Wes Anderson, but then I watched, what's that Asteroid City movie? I'm like, this movie is Wes Anderson trying to make a Wes Anderson movie, and I didn't enjoy it. I stopped watching it because I'm like, this is just going too far into him trying to copy himself. And I mean, I'm not going to throw shade on anyone who liked the movie. I did not enjoy it. I thought, this is too much. This is trying too hard. Which I used to feel about oh God, what's his nuts? Quentin Tarantino. I got years ago, I got tired of Quentin Tarantino films. It was the Death Proof. I did not enjoy Death Proof. I thought he was trying too hard to be Quentin Tarantino. But then he came out with Inglourious Bastards, and I thought that movie was so good. I came back to enjoying Quentin Tarantino because I liked that movie so much. And I'm like, oh, he can make a movie. Okay, he can make a movie. And then Django Unchained, loved that movie. So he started making good movies again that I enjoyed. So maybe Wes Anderson will do the same thing. We'll have to wait and see. Asteroid City is not it. Plus, I wanted it to be Fallout, and it wasn't Fallout. But there's a Fallout show coming out, so that'll be Fallout. Amazon has Freevee. It has 423 channels of old shows. Yeah, I've seen Freevee. I've watched some stuff on Freevee. Also, some of these channels like Pluto and Freevee, and there's a couple other ones out there. They'll come out with some new movies or newish movies, and you can watch them for free with some ads. So even these free services are starting to have some pretty good newer content as well. AI can now make scripts without plagiarism. AI writes the same as human writers, creating new stuff. Ooh, I need to get into that. I think it would be fun to make YouTube videos that were completely created script-wise by AI. And I let everybody know, hey, AI wrote this script. Here's a video. Here's a review that AI did, and then I'll just read the script. I'll do a video and using the AI script as my script, just to see what kind of weird fun we can have. Andrew, yes, I don't know what the update is on this news. This is very, very old news that I thought there must be an update. But Andrew says, I heard Paramount Plus will be getting a Galaxy Quest series starring Tim Allen. Maybe that's the update? Tim Allen would be fine, I guess, though I was really excited. Years ago, they said they were going to make a Galaxy Quest series for Amazon. They didn't say they didn't say anything about the original cast or anything like that, though I figured there would be some cameos. But a whole new cast, a whole new story that's Galaxy Quest, I'm totally all about. Tim Allen makes it kind of, I don't know, the Santa Claus. I don't know, but man, Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen back in the day in the series was great. Tim Allen today is kind of weird, but I'm not going to prejudge it until I see it, and I'm definitely going to see it if it's available. But yeah, I hope they do that, because Galaxy Quest is a great IP. It's a great. No one's done anything with it, and everybody loves the movie. Everyone loves it, so they got to do something with it, because that's what all entertainment is about now: finding something people already love and making a new version of it. Name recognition. I'm going to make a movie called Name Recognition. Why mess around? Just call it what it is. Name recognition. Booger says, Asteroid City was definitely strange. Jeff Goldblum was good as the alien. See, I never even made it that far. I made it as far as when the main character all of a sudden was in the office of a writer. All of a sudden the movie becomes black and white, and they're on a stage. And I'm like, oh, the movie's going too far. It's not keeping my interest enough to have this go over well in my brain. So I was like, oh, you're trying too hard. Though, I mean, technically, I like the idea of breaking the fourth wall. The whole movie is breaking the fourth wall. You're basically watching a stage production as a movie, which is kind of a cool idea. But yeah, all the dialogue and everything, I'm like, oh, they're trying too hard to make the dialogue sound a certain way. Tubi. I've watched stuff on Tubi. Me No Other says, I think ChatGPT will write the script and make the video, edit it, gather pictures. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Eventually it'll just be you go to your TV, you type in a suggestion, the TV that has AI in it creates that thing that you just asked it to create, and boom, you have a movie right there that was just created just for you instantly. Well, you probably got to render a little bit, so you got to wait 15 minutes. But I bet you that's what's going to be. Oh, I want to see a movie where Santa Claus has to fight the Martians. Oh, that movie already exists. Sorry, we're going to make a AI version anyway. Galaxy Quest and Stargate's Wormhole Extreme. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. I've streamed for 2 hours. I usually cut it off a little bit before we hit the 2 hour mark. I'm going to have to go have dinner with the family. Woe is me. But I want to thank you guys for stopping into this chat about the TED series. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm glad we didn't spoil too much, because a lot of you haven't seen it yet because it's brand new. It just came out this week. And, you got to sit down and watch a bunch of episodes. Not too many, 7 episodes. You can do it. But you got to binge watch it. Do like me, binge watch it, and then watch the first 2 movies. I'm all TEDed up this week. I'm super excited for TED. Buy Pet the Kitty for me. I will, if I can find her. She's usually in the bathroom, hanging out in the bathtub. But watch the TED series, you guys. We're going to be talking about it a lot. as well as all the other things that we like to talk about, as you've witnessed here in this live stream. You never know what we're going to talk about in an Egotastic Fun Time live stream, you guys. But I'll keep you guys updated. Well, we'll stream before this, but I'll keep you guys updated when I reapply for monetization. Let you guys know what happens with that. Fingers crossed. Thank you so much for helping me out these last 3 months. YouTube has screwed me, so thank you guys for helping out, help keep the lights on. Click the link up there, tip JP a beer. Probably not gonna buy a beer though. I'll probably just pay for the light bill. But I'll see you guys very soon, and as always, I hope all your times are egotastic fun times, and we all do better when we all do better.